Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Slayer Bundle X of October 2023 to help you in picking your 7 games. By using the link provided in the description below, not only will you gain access to this bundle, but you also have the opportunity to support this channel. Your support would mean the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Fates of Ort, an action RPG that offers a clever mashup of gameplay elements. In this game, time freezes when you're not moving, attacking, or casting spells, creating a unique pause with real-time mechanic. This innovative approach replaces the more reflex-based gameplay with a more measured pace, allowing you to strategize and combine conditions and spell effects without relying solely on memorized button sequences. The game also incorporates elements of bullet hell, and features a respawning and healing system reminiscent of Dark Souls. Unlike other Diablo-like games that tend to lose interest quickly, Fates of Ort captures the spirit of old Zelda games, providing an adventurous experience with numerous side quests and bonus items to discover. While the game does have randomly generated items, there are fewer of them compared to typical games in the genre, reducing the time spent examining minor variations. The magic system in Fates of Ort adds another layer of depth. As the protagonist, you must acquire better magic to combat the main villain, who corrupts everyone with apocalyptic powers. The magic comes from the Sisters, a trio of demigoddesses representing different elements. Each sister's magic has strengths and weaknesses against various monsters, offering replay value as you choose one and stick with her magic throughout the game. The choices you make in Fates of Ort also have consequences. Accepting the villain's offer grants you free spells, but drains power from the land, while rejecting it means your spells are powered by your own health. This decision affects gameplay and adds an intriguing layer of strategy and trade-offs. Overall, Fates of Ort is a delightful and easily likable game, offering a unique twist on the action RPG genre. At number 2 we have Void Scrappers, an indie game that will quickly captivate you with its addictive gameplay. The developer has focused on refining a simple gameplay loop to achieve excellence. In this top-down shooter, you control a spacecraft in a hostile galaxy, where collecting scrap metal is essential. Your goal is to blast space enemies and debris while collecting the valuable scraps that they leave behind. Your avatar automatically fires, so your main task is to navigate through the chaos of projectiles and enemies. At the beginning, you have a weak weapon, but collecting scrap allows for upgrades in various aspects, such as guns, ammo, shields, and more. Balancing survival and the risk of going for power-ups adds strategic depth to the game. The difficulty gradually increases at a manageable pace, ensuring an enjoyable experience. The procedurally generated runs keep the gameplay fresh, while the ability to permanently enhance your setup and unlock new characters and weapons adds replay value. The art style embraces a retro aesthetic with pixel art, and the characters have distinct personalities and engage in humorous banter. The soundtrack enhances the gameplay experience, adding to the overall retro vibe. Void Scrappers offers a substantial amount of enjoyable gameplay, and is a must-have for fans of quirky shooters. The addictive and varied gameplay, coupled with a wide range of characters and upgrades, make it a standout title in the genre. At number 3 we have Turmoil, a game where you play an aspiring oil baron, embarking on a journey to strike it rich in the late 19th century. The game offers a choice of game modes, allowing you to dive into the campaign or a shorter one-year simulation. Regardless of your selection, the core gameplay loop remains consistent. You begin by acquiring land, hiring a dowser to locate oil deposits, and then setting up drilling rigs and pipelines to extract a valuable resource. The process involves managing your resources, dealing with fluctuating oil prices, and expanding your operation. At its core, Turmoil is intriguing and captivating, especially when you're navigating its intricacies and discovering optimal strategies for success. The game's tutorial leaves much to be learned through experimentation, making those initial moments of discovery enjoyable. However, as you become familiar with the best approaches, the game's appeal gradually diminishes. The repetitive nature of the gameplay and the absence of compelling risk and reward dynamics make it feel less gratifying over time. The game does have some inconsistencies in the use of certain game elements, such as randomly not being able to use moles to dig for oil. This lack of transparency in the game's mechanics can be frustrating. Turmoil introduces a variety of upgrades and technologies, some of which are essential, while others are overpriced and not necessary for your path to success. The game's realism and pricing can work against the player's expectations and lead to suboptimal decision making. Despite these issues, Turmoil still offers a fun and strategic experience, particularly if you enjoy resource management and economic simulation games. And number 4 we have Moonlighter, a unique blend of shop simulation and roguelike dungeon crawling, reminiscent of the 2010 indie game Röki. The game centers around Will, who balances his role as a shopkeeper during the day with his nighttime adventures into procedurally generated dungeons. The protagonist's aim is to unlock the 5th dungeon door in his hometown by defeating bosses and collecting keys from monsters. Each day involves alternating between exploring dungeons and managing the shop. The combat in the game strikes a balance between swift and controlled, requiring players to strategically engage enemies. Despite its hard difficulty label, the forgiving death penalties prevent significant setbacks. The dungeons are 3 floors deep, culminating in a boss fight that offers a modest challenge. One of the game's standout features is its inventory management system. With limited bag space, players must prioritize valuable items and contend with various item curses that impact their arrangement. Back in the town of Röki, players can invest gold to bring in different merchants, upgrade equipment, and engage in shop management. The pricing mechanic offers a simple but satisfying challenge. Moonlighter is designed for completion rather than mastery, making it an accessible and enjoyable experience for players who appreciate the roguelike flavor without the commitment of extensive gameplay. The game successfully blends elements of both genres, providing a refreshing take on a dungeon crawling and shop simulation. Although it doesn't aim to redefine these genres, Moonlighter offers a unique and engaging experience that strikes a balance between casual and captivating gameplay. At number 5 we have Röki, a charming adventure game. Play as Tove Jacobson, drawn into a magical forest after her brother Lars is abducted by a monstrous creature. To save him, Tove must find and convince the 4 Jotnar guardians of the seasons to help. Röki immerses you in a magical fairy tale world inspired by Scandinavian folklore, reminiscent of King's Quest. Meet wondrous creatures like trolls and tomties, adding to the authentic atmosphere. Minimal dialogue and voice acting effectively convey emotions, especially through the touching protagonist, Tove. Unfold Tove's story, exploring the impact of her mother's tragic death on her family. Röki skillfully combines an emotional narrative with an engaging gameplay, featuring inventory and traditional puzzles and surreal sequences in Tove's subconscious. The subdued musical score complements the storytelling, while sound effects enhance immersion. Roam freely and interact with hotspots in Röki's accessible gameplay mechanics. The well-implemented inventory system and gentle difficulty curve provide a satisfying experience. Visually appealing with hand-drawn, cel-shaded backgrounds, the art style brings the storybook-like setting to life. Detailed forest environments immerse you with animated foreground elements. With a playtime of around 10 hours, Röki offers a substantial and varied experience. While there may be some backtracking, shortcuts and fast travel options keep the world manageable. Overall, Röki is a beautifully crafted game that combines Scandinavian folklore with an emotionally engaging narrative. A modern classic adventure captivating players of all ages. At number 6 we have Metro 2033 Redux, a substantial remaster of the acclaimed game Metro 2033, presenting improvements and enhancements that elevate its visuals and gameplay experience. This is an authentic remaster, a compilation of tweaks and enhancements that brings Metro 2033 to new heights. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, the game offers a grim backdrop, portraying a bleak humanity within Moscow's metro tunnels while dark ones threaten from above. Notably, the bartering system introduces a dynamic twist, allowing players to trade ammunition for upgrades or combat potential. The visual overhaul in Metro 2033 Redux is notable. The remaster goes beyond minor texture improvements, featuring new animations, meshes, and rework environments. The definitive version offers improvements, even in minute details, showcasing the dedication to enhancing the game's experience. The revamped cutscenes maintaining protagonist Artyom's perspective enrich the narrative engagement, enhancing immersion. Developers 4A Games have meticulously revisited every aspect, evident in upgraded lighting, weather effects, and expanded environments and added secrets. Elements from Metro Last Light enhance the experience further, including weapon customization. If you're a fan, Metro 2033 Redux is undoubtedly worth revisiting. For newcomers, the game's excellent quality justifies your time in it, concluding that this remake truly refines the original game and provides a complete experience of this post-apocalyptic experience. At number 7 we have Patch Quest, a roguelike exploration game. In this game you collect creatures, get into the occasional murder fest, and keep track of all your discoveries. While the world and creatures may seem cute and cuddly, this game will murder you over and over again. You play an explorer in Patchlantis, a world filled with secret paths, treacherous plant life, and monsters that really hate you. Nature has overtaken the island, and it is your job to find out what has happened. Every time you die, the world, or patches connected to each other, will change and reshuffle, making each playthrough different. You're equipped with a weapon that can fire various types of ammo, depending on fruits that you find in your journey. You have homing bananas, rapid fire grapes, explosive onions, among others. Sometimes this game goes full on bullet hell on you, and these encounters can be quite overwhelming. You can mount monsters and use their skills and abilities to help deal with situations like this. You can even use them to battle other monsters that you encounter. The more your bond grows with your monsters, the more abilities will be available to them. Some monsters can levitate across swamps, and others are super tanky. You can also acquire plants and minerals to further grow your bond. Finding these resources also increase your Explorer rank. Every new level to the Explorer rank unlocks new permanent buffs for your character. In conclusion, Patch Quest is an awesome little adventure with some genuinely tough encounters. However, it manages to balance difficulty with the thrill of exploration and discovery, and never feels repetitive. Thanks to the wealth of creatures to mount and capture and some tough-as-nails combat, this roguelike adventure is quite a treat, and you'll be crazy to pass this one by. And number 8 we have Metro Last Light Redux, a reworked version of the game in a superior engine of Metro Last Light. While the Redux approach worked well for Metro 2033, offering improvements and fixes, the same doesn't hold true for Last Light. The Redux version of Last Light essentially remains the same game as the original, released just over a year prior. Visually, the differences are subtle, making it challenging to distinguish between the two versions during gameplay. Unlike the loving improvements seen in Metro 2033 Redux, the changes in Last Light Redux are minimal, resembling a Game of the Year edition with bundled DLC and some integrated weapons. While Last Light Redux maintains the atmospheric and grim tone of the original, it falls short in comparison to its predecessor. The game's focus on combat and boss fights over the survival horror elements disappointed fans of the original. The addition of a survivor mode attempts to recreate the first game's atmosphere, but feels like a temporary solution. While consoles benefit from higher resolution and a locked 60 FPS frame rate, these improvements are negligible for PC players. If you haven't played Last Light before, the Redux version is definitely the version to play. However, if you already own the original, the minimal changes might not warrant a replay. Metro Last Light Redux remains atmospheric and impressive, but ultimately inessential for those who already experienced the original. And number 9 we have Ancestors Legacy, a real-time strategy game that will feel instantly familiar to those who have dabbled in this genre. The core mechanics align with typical RTS traditions, involving resource gathering, unit recruitment, and combat on contained maps. The game offers a seamless transition for RTS veterans, and even newcomers can quickly grasp the mechanics and dive into the gameplay. Set in the Middle Ages with 4 playable factions, Vikings, Anglo-Saxons, Germans, and Slavs, the game delves into historical conflicts between these groups. The historical setting adds depth and justification to the gameplay, making each faction feel distinct. Managing resources like wood, iron, and food is crucial for recruiting units, constructing buildings, and upgrading forces. The game allows for customization of units through research, allowing for unique abilities and even changes in armor appearances. The stance mechanic adds depth to troop management, making units versatile both in combat and outside. However, the campaign mode has its weaknesses, revealing some clunkiness and inconsistency in mechanics. For instance, keeping a commander alive can be challenging due to the unresponsive retreat mechanic. Despite this, the engaging multiplayer modes, Annihilation and Domination, shine brightly. Domination in particular leverages the game's mechanics and resource management, offering a rich multiplayer experience. Ancestors Legacy is a solid RTS title that combines familiarity with complexity. Its historical context enhances the gameplay, and despite some rough edges, it provides an engaging experience. While it may not be flawless, the game's strengths far outweigh its weaknesses, making it a worthwhile addition to the RTS genre. And number 10 we have Just Die Already, a game where you step into the shoes of an elderly troublemaker who has been kicked out of their assisted living facility. Your mission is to complete various quirky tasks from a bucket list to earn tokens, with 50 tokens securing you a plush retirement. These tasks range from the mundane like eating food to the absurd, such as electrocuting yourself multiple times. The game encourages playful chaos, letting you experiment with physics and interact with the world in unconventional ways. You can taunt characters, dismember them, and navigate bizarre scenarios. Your character can even lose limbs, the head, or torso without dying, leading to comedic situations as you roll around as a crotch. Just Die Already features a sandbox world with secrets to uncover and a solid design. The game runs well, offering bright and colorful visuals, and allows you to roam freely and engage in humorous escapades. It doesn't prioritize tight gameplay, but excels in providing a whimsical and entertaining environment. The bucket list system offers a sense of direction, akin to collectathon platformers, making it suitable for goal-oriented players. While the game's humor is dark and peculiar, its focus on exploration and discovery make it an enjoyable experience. Overall, Just Die Already is an unconventional and amusing game that revels in absurdity. With its focus on playful exploration and creative destruction, it's a perfect fit for those who appreciate sandbox mayhem. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is okay. There is a ton of repeats in this, and some multiplayer games that are slowly fading away into histories of gaming. However, there are some good games in this for cheap, if you don't already have them, like the Metro games, Patch Quest, Moonlighter, and Röki. In any case, kindly show your support by liking and subscribing to the channel for more bundle content, and I look forward to connecting with you in the upcoming video.